Chosen one, there is something within you that cannot be copied, replaced, or ignored. Out of 8.2 billion people on earth, God placed a unique calling upon your life for a divine reason. The struggles, isolation, and spiritual battles you faced were preparing you for this exact moment. Heaven has been shaping your spirit differently from everyone around you. Today you are about to discover why your presence alone carries a powerful purpose. Before you were even born, God already marked your life with purpose and destiny. While the world sees billions of ordinary people moving through life without direction, heaven sees you differently. Your existence was never an accident, and the timing of your birth was not random. God chose you before anyone knew your name, before your family understood your future, and before you even took your first breath. There has always been a divine hand over your life, guiding you through moments you did not understand at the time. Many chosen ones spend years feeling different from everyone around them. You may have felt isolated, misunderstood, or spiritually disconnected from the world's systems. That feeling did not come because something was wrong. Go with you. It came because your spirit was designed for something greater. God often separates his chosen people before revealing their true assignment. While others seek acceptance from crowds, you have always felt a deeper calling pulling you toward truth, purpose, and spiritual awakening. The enemy recognized your potential long before you did. That is why your life may have been filled with unusual battles, disappointments, betrayals, and seasons of loneliness. The attacks were not random. Darkness always targets those who carry divine light. But every challenge you survived was preparing your spirit for strength, wisdom, and endurance. God never allowed those battles to destroy you because he already decided that your story would become powerful testimony. There were moments when you wanted to quit, times when you questioned your worth and wondered why life seemed harder for you than for others. Yet somehow, every time you fell, God lifted you again. Every closed door redirected you. Every painful season taught you something deeper about faith and spiritual authority. Even when people walked away from you, heaven stayed close to you. God was teaching you to depend on him instead of the approval of people. What makes you different is not money, status, or popularity. It is the spiritual calling resting upon your life. There is a presence within you that cannot be explained naturally. People may feel drawn to you, intimidated by you, or even uncomfortable around you without understanding why. Your spirit carries something rare. God placed wisdom, discernment, resilience, and purpose inside you for a reason. Now the season is changing. The confusion is beginning to fade, and revelation is arriving. God is opening your eyes to understand who you truly are. You were never meant to live small, think small, or hide your gifts from the world. Heaven chose you for impact. Your voice, your experiences, your testimony, and your faith will reach people in ways you cannot yet imagine. Chosen one, remember this. God does not create duplicates when he creates purpose. You are living proof that divine selection is real. Among billions of people walking this earth, heaven still called your name specifically. And what God placed inside you cannot be replaced by anyone else. There is a reason your life never followed the normal path that others expected for you. Doctor, deep inside your spirit, you have always felt that you were meant for something bigger than ordinary existence. While many people are comfortable blending into the crowd, your soul has constantly searched for deeper meaning, truth, and purpose. That feeling is not imagination. It is evidence of a rare spiritual assignment placed upon your life by God himself. A chosen one is never sent into the world without purpose. Before you arrived on earth, heaven already prepared an assignment that only you could fulfill. This assignment is not based on human qualifications, popularity, or worldly success. It is spiritual. God often chooses people who have been overlooked, rejected, underestimated, or misunderstood because he wants his power to shine through them. The world may not understand your journey, but heaven understands every step you have taken. One of the clearest signs of a rare spiritual assignment is the amount of pressure you have faced throughout your life. You may have experienced intense spiritual warfare, emotional battles, sudden setbacks, or painful betrayals. Sometimes it felt as if every time you tried to move forward, something attempted to pull you backward. That resistance stance did not happen because you were weak. It happened because your purpose carries weight in the spiritual realm. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. Darkness reacts strongly when someone carries divine potential. There were also seasons when you felt separated from others. Even in rooms full of people, you may have felt alone or spiritually disconnected. God sometimes isolates his chosen people to protect them from distractions and prepare them privately. During those lonely seasons, he was building your character, increasing your discernment, and teaching you how to hear his voice clearly. What felt like rejection was often divine protection. Your spiritual assignment is connected to people you have not even met yet. There are individuals whose lives will change because of your obedience, your testimony, your wisdom, and your faith. Every pain you survived has become part of your preparation. Every battle strengthened your spirit. Every disappointment taught you lessons that will one day help others overcome their own struggles. Nothing you went through was wasted in God's plan. You may not fully understand your assignment yet, but your spirit can feel that something important is approaching. Doors are beginning to open differently. Your awareness is increasing. You are noticing signs, confirmations, and moments of clarity that were hidden before. God is slowly revealing why your journey had to be different from everyone else's. Your calling was never ordinary, so your preparation could not be ordinary either. Many people spend their entire lives chasing temporary things, but chosen ones carry eternal purpose. You were not sent here only to survive, work, and disappear. You were sent to make impact. Heaven trusted you with a mission that requires strength, faith, and spiritual endurance. Even when you doubted yourself, God never doubted the assignment he placed inside you. Now is the time to stop questioning why you are different and start understanding that your difference is part of your destiny. The battles, delays, and challenges were shaping you for the purpose ahead. Your spiritual assignment is rare because your role in God's plan is rare. And as heaven continues to guide your path, the world will eventually witness the power of what God has been building within you all along. There are gifts inside of you that most people cannot see with natural eyes. Since childhood, you may have sensed emotions deeply, noticed things others ignored, or felt spiritually connected in ways you could never fully explain. These hidden qualities were not random personality traits. They were divine gifts placed within you by God for a greater purpose. Even before you recognized them, heaven already knew the power resting inside your spirit. Many chosen ones grow up feeling different because their gifts do not fit easily into the world around them. You may have struggled to explain why you think differently, feel differently, or react differently from others. Sometimes people misunderstood your sensitivity, your wisdom, or your strong intuition. But what others called strange was often spiritual awareness. God placed gifts inside you that were never meant to blend into ordinary environments. One of the hidden gifts many chosen ones carry is discernment. You can often sense the true intentions of people before they reveal themselves openly. There were moments when your spirit warned you about certain situations, and later you realized those feelings were correct. That is not coincidence. God gives discernment to protect his chosen people and guide them away from danger. While others only see appearances, your spirit notices deeper truths. Another hidden gift is resilience. Most people would have broken under the pressure you survived. The battles, betrayals, disappointments, and emotional pain you endured could have destroyed your faith completely. Yet somehow you kept standing. Even during your darkest seasons, something inside you refused to surrender. That strength did not come from the world. It came from the Spirit of God working within you. Your ability to survive difficult seasons is part of your divine design. You also carry the gift of influence, even if you do not realize it yet. Your words, energy, and presence affect people more deeply than you understand. Sometimes people feel inspired around you without knowing why. Other times, your honesty and spiritual awareness may make insecure people uncomfortable. Light naturally exposes darkness, and that is why your presence can create strong reactions. God placed a unique spiritual authority inside you that cannot be easily ignored. Many chosen ones hide their gifts because of fear, rejection, or past criticism. Perhaps people mocked your dreams, doubted your abilities, or tried to convince you that you were ordinary. Over time, you may have learned to suppress parts of yourself just to feel accepted. But heaven never intended for your gifts to remain hidden forever. God placed them inside you to help others, inspire others, and fulfill your purpose on earth. The reason your journey has been difficult is because gifts require preparation. Before God reveals the full power of what is inside you, He develops your character through trials and lessons. Every painful season taught you wisdom. Every setback increased your spiritual endurance. Every lonely moment strengthened your connection with God. What felt like punishment was often preparation for the future assignment connected to your gifts. Now you are entering a season of revelation. The things you once doubted about yourself are beginning to make sense. God is opening your eyes to recognize the value of what He placed within you. Your gifts were never meant to be wasted, hidden, or ignored. They are part of your calling as a chosen one. Remember this carefully. Heaven does not place rare gifts inside ordinary vessels without purpose. The abilities, wisdom, strength, and spiritual awareness you carry were designed specifically for your journey. And as you continue growing closer to God, those hidden gifts will begin to shine brighter than ever before. From the very beginning of your life, you were never meant to fully fit into the crowd. No matter how hard you tried to feel normal or accepted, there was always something different about your spirit. You may have noticed that your mindset, emotions, and way of seeing the world never completely matched the people around you. That feeling was not a curse. It was a sign that God set you apart for a divine purpose. Many chosen ones spend years wondering why they feel disconnected from society, while others easily follow trends, chase temporary validation, or become comfortable with shallow living. Your spirit constantly searches for something deeper. You were created with a different level of awareness. God placed a hunger inside you for truth, meaning, wisdom, and spiritual understanding. That is why ordinary conversations and empty lifestyles often leave you feeling unfulfilled. Being set apart is not always easy. In fact, it can feel lonely at times. There were seasons when people misunderstood why, or rejected you, or even judged you because they could not understand your spirit. Some relationships ended because your growth made others uncomfortable. Certain environments no longer matched your energy, and you felt forced to walk away from places where you once tried so hard to belong. But every separation had a purpose. God removes chosen ones from spaces that limit their calling. You may have also noticed that you cannot ignore your conscience the way others do. When something feels wrong spiritually, your inner spirit reacts strongly. That sensitivity is part of being set apart. God placed conviction inside you to guide your path and protect your destiny. While many people ignore spiritual warning signs, you often feel them deeply. Heaven communicates differently with those who are chosen for higher assignments. Another sign of being set apart is the unusual challenges you faced throughout life. The enemy often attacks people who carry strong spiritual potential because their future impact threatens darkness. The battles you survived were not random. They were connected to your purpose. Every difficult season was shaping your strength, wisdom, patience, and faith. God was preparing you privately before revealing you publicly. Sometimes you questioned why your journey looked harder than everyone else's. You watched other people move through life easily while you faced obstacle after obstacle. But what you did not realize was that ordinary paths create ordinary results. Chosen ones walk through unique preparation because their calling is different. God was building something stronger inside you than the world could see. Being set apart also means your influence carries spiritual weight. Your words affect people. Your energy changes atmospheres. Your presence alone can inspire, convict, or awaken others without you even trying. This is why some people feel naturally drawn toward you, while others react negatively without explanation. Light always creates reactions in places filled with darkness. Now you are beginning to understand why you never truly belonged to the crowd. God never designed you to disappear into ordinary living. He separated you because your assignment requires a different spirit, different mindset, and different level of faith. The isolation, the lessons, and the spiritual battles were all part of preparing you for your next season. Chosen one, never feel ashamed for being different. The world may see your separation as weakness, but heaven sees it as purpose. God set you apart because your life carries meaning beyond what most people can understand. And the more you embrace who you truly are, the clearer your divine path will become. Since the beginning of your journey, there has always been a feeling deep inside you that could never be fully explained. Even when you tried to live like everyone else, your spirit kept reminding you that you were different. You may have felt out of place in certain environments, disconnected from shallow conversations, or emotionally distant from the crowd around you. That feeling did not happen by accident. Your spirit was designed differently because God created you with a higher purpose. Many chosen ones experience this from an early age. While others easily adapt to the world's patterns, your soul constantly searches for deeper meaning and spiritual truth. You notice things that others ignore. You feel energies, emotions, and intentions more strongly than most people. Sometimes you can sense when something is wrong before it even happens. Other times, your spirit war ends you about certain people or situations long before the truth is revealed. These experiences are signs that your spiritual awareness is stronger than normal. There were probably moments when you questioned yourself because of how different you felt. You may have wondered why certain environments drained your energy while others seemed comfortable there. Loud negativity, fake behavior, and toxic attitudes may have affected you deeply. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is part of your spiritual design. God often gives chosen ones heightened awareness so they can walk with wisdom and discernment. Your spirit also reacts differently to pain and hardship. Even though you faced struggles that could have broken you completely, something inside you kept pushing you forward. There were seasons when you felt emotionally exhausted, spiritually attacked, and completely misunderstood, yet you still survived. That inner strength comes from the Spirit of God working within you. While the world may see your survival as luck, heaven knows it was divine protection guiding your path. Another reason your spirit feels different is because you are spiritually connected to purpose. Ordinary things no longer satisfy you for long. Temporary success, fake relationships, and empty distractions cannot fulfill the deeper hunger inside your soul. God placed eternity within your spirit, and that is why you crave something more meaningful than what the world offers. You were not created just to exist. You were created to awaken, inspire, and walk in divine purpose. People may notice your difference even when you say nothing. Some are naturally drawn toward your calm energy, wisdom, and presence. Others may feel uncomfortable around you without understanding why. Your spirit carries light, and light exposes what darkness tries to hide. This is why certain people may react strongly to you even before truly knowing you. Spiritual energy speaks louder than words. At times, you may have tried to hide your true self just to feel accepted. Perhaps you lowered your standards, silenced your intuition, or ignored your spiritual feelings to fit into certain groups. But no matter how much you tried, your spirit could never fully settle in places where you did not belong. God never intended for you to lose yourself just to gain approval from people who cannot understand your calling. Now the truth is becoming clearer. The reason your spirit feels different is because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. God created you with spiritual depth, divine sensitivity, and unique purpose. Every experience you faced has shaped your awareness and strengthened your connection with Him. Chosen one, stop seeing your difference as a burden. Your spirit feels different because heaven placed something rare inside you. The world may not fully understand you, but God does. And as you continue walking in faith, the uniqueness of your spirit will become one of the greatest strengths of your destiny. There were many moments in your life when you thought you were walking alone, but the truth is, heaven has been guiding your path the entire time. Even during seasons of confusion, pain, and uncertainty, God was quietly directing your steps toward a purpose far greater than you could see. What looked like random events, delays, or disappointments were often divine redirections designed to protect your destiny. Many chosen ones do not recognize God's guidance immediately because it rarely happens in loud or obvious ways. Sometimes heaven guides you through closed doors, unexpected events, endings, or situations that force you to change direction. At the time, those moments may have felt painful or unfair. You may have prayed for certain relationships, opportunities, or plans to succeed, only to watch them fall apart unexpectedly. But later, you realized that God was saving you from paths that were never meant for you. One of the strongest signs that heaven is guiding your life is the number of times you survived situations that should have destroyed you. There were moments when you felt emotionally broken, spiritually exhausted, and completely lost. Yet somehow, you kept moving forward. Every time you thought it was over, strength appeared at the right moment. That was not luck. It was divine protection surrounding your life, even when you could not see it. God also guides chosen ones through intuition, discernment, and spiritual conviction. There were times when your spirit warned you about people, environments, or decisions before anything happened physically. You may not have understood those feelings at first, but later the truth became clear. Heaven communicates with sensitive spirits in ways the world cannot always explain. When God places purpose on someone's life, He also provides spiritual direction to help them stay aligned with their destiny. Your delays were also part of divine guidance. Sometimes you wondered why things were taking so long while others seemed to move ahead quickly. But God was not punishing you. He was preparing you. Certain blessings require spiritual maturity, wisdom, and inner strength before they can be trusted in your hands. Heaven often slows down chosen ones because their assignment carries greater impact than they realize. There were also people God intentionally removed from your life. At first, those separations hurt deeply. You may have felt abandoned, rejected, or betrayed by individuals you trusted. But over time, you began to understand that not everyone could continue walking into your next season. Some people were distractions, some were lessons, and some were obstacles to your calling. Heaven will never allow certain connections to remain if they threaten your purpose. Even your failures carried hidden guidance. Every mistake taught you wisdom. Every setback revealed truth. Every painful experience strengthened your spirit and deepened your relationship with God. What felt like punishment was often preparation. Heaven was teaching you how to rely on faith instead of comfort, and spiritual strength instead of worldly approval. Now you are entering a season where things are starting to make sense. The confusion is fading and clarity is increasing. You are beginning to recognize that your journey was never random. God has been ordering your steps with precision, even in moments when life felt completely uncertain. Every delay, every battle, every redirection, and every breakthrough carried purpose. Chosen one, trust the path heaven is creating for you. Even when you cannot see the full picture, God already knows where He is leading you. The same divine hand that protected you in your darkest moments will continue guiding you toward the future, prepared specifically for your life. And when you finally look back on your journey, you will realize that heaven never left your side for a single moment. Whether you realize it or not, the spiritual power within you has always been visible in realms beyond the physical world. Long before you understood your own value, darkness already recognized the light you carry. That is one reason your life has felt filled with unusual battles, ease, resistance, and spiritual pressure. The enemy does not waste energy attacking people who pose no threat. The intensity of your struggles is often connected to the strength of the purpose God placed inside you. Many chosen ones grow up wondering why life feels harder for them than it does for others. From an early age, you may have experienced rejection, betrayal, emotional pain, or sudden obstacles that seem to appear without explanation. Sometimes it felt like every time you tried to move forward, something attempted to pull you backward. Those patterns were not random. Darkness reacts when someone carries divine potential capable of inspiring, awakening, and helping others. You may have also noticed how certain people respond strongly to your presence even before getting to know you personally. Some feel naturally drawn toward your energy, wisdom, and spirit, while others become uncomfortable, jealous, or defensive around you without clear reason. Spiritual energy speaks louder than words. The light within you exposes hidden intentions, insecurities, and darkness in others, even when you are simply being yourself. There were moments when people tried to discourage you, mock your dreams, or make you question your worth. Some individuals may have projected negativity onto you for no logical reason. Others may have betrayed you unexpectedly despite your good intentions. These experiences can leave deep emotional scars, but they also reveal an important truth. Your spirit carries influence. Darkness often works through fear, confusion, and toxic people to distract chosen ones from discovering their real power. One of the biggest attacks the enemy uses against chosen people is self-doubt. If darkness can convince you that you are ordinary, weak, or unworthy, then you may never fully step into your calling. That is why there were seasons when you felt mentally exhausted, spiritually confused, or emotionally drained. The goal was to make you forget who God created you to be, but despite everything you faced, you are still standing. That alone proves there is divine strength operating within your life. The battles you survived were building spiritual endurance. Every painful lesson increased your discernment. Every betrayal taught you wisdom. Every lonely season deepened your connection with God. What once looked like punishment was actually preparation. Heaven was strengthening your spirit so you could handle the assignment connected to your destiny. Darkness recognizes power before many people do. That is why your growth often triggered reactions from others. Some people secretly admired your strength, while others tried to compete with, silence, or discourage you. But no attack could fully destroy what God protected. The more pressure you survived, the stronger your spirit became. What was meant to break you only revealed your resilience. Now you are reaching a point where fear is losing its control over your life. You are beginning to see your struggles from a spiritual perspective instead of only a physical one. The attacks, obstacles, and resistance were signs that your life carries meaning beyond what the world can see. Heaven allowed you to survive because your purpose is still unfolding. Chosen one, never underestimate the power God placed inside you. Darkness recognized your potential long before you did, but that power does not belong to fear or evil. It belongs to God. And as you continue walking in faith, wisdom, and purpose, the same light that once made you a target will become the very thing that helps others find hope, strength, and spiritual awakening through your journey. For a long time, your life may have felt like one long season of waiting. You prayed, struggled, endured pain, and faced battles that seemed to have no clear ending. There were moments when you questioned whether anything would ever change. You watched others move ahead while you remained in a place of preparation, confusion, or isolation. But what you did not fully understand was that heaven was preparing the perfect moment for your revelation. And now, that moment is closer than ever before. Every chosen one experiences a season where their gifts, purpose, and identity remain hidden. During that time, God works privately within their spirit, shaping their character and strengthening their faith. The process is often painful because preparation requires growth, discipline, and endurance. Many times, you felt forgotten because your progress was invisible to the world. But heaven never stopped working behind the scenes. The struggles you faced were not meaningless. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every disappointment increased your wisdom. Every lonely season deepened your relationship with God. Even the moments when life felt completely broken were building spiritual strength inside you. God was removing distractions, exposing false people, and preparing your spirit for the responsibility connected to your calling. What felt like delay was actually divine timing. Now signs of change are beginning to appear around you. Your mindset is shifting. Your awareness is growing stronger. The confusion that once surrounded your life is slowly fading, and clarity is replacing it. You are starting to recognize your worth, your spiritual gifts, and the purpose behind your journey. Things that once drained your energy no longer control you the same way. Heaven is opening your eyes to see yourself differently. A season of revelation does not only mean success in the physical world, it means spiritual awakening. It is the moment when you finally understand why your path had to be different from everyone else's. You begin to realize that the rejection protected you, the isolation strengthened you, and the battles prepared you. Suddenly, the pain that once confused you starts making sense because you can finally see the bigger picture God was creating all along. People who overlooked you may begin noticing your transformation. Those who doubted your potential may become surprised by your growth, confidence, and peace. But this revelation is not about proving yourself to others. It is about stepping fully into the identity God created for you. Chosen ones waste years searching for validation from people when heaven has already approved them from the beginning. Your voice carries more power now because it was shaped through experience. Your wisdom carries depth because it was built through hardship. Your spirit carries strength because it survived storms that could have destroyed others. The version of you emerging now is not the same person you were before. God has been transforming you through every season of your life. There is also a new level of courage rising within you. Fear no longer has the same control it once did. You are beginning to trust God more than your doubts. You are becoming less afraid of standing apart from the crowd because you finally understand that your difference is connected to your destiny. Heaven is calling you to stop hiding your gifts and start walking boldly in your purpose. Chosen one, your time of revelation has come. The hidden season is ending, and the truth about who you are is becoming impossible to ignore. God did not bring you this far just to leave your purpose unfinished.